make sure these bastards remember my fucking name.
Outstanding.
Hello there, gamers. I'm Pemby66 of Pemby's Gaming World, and I'm known to do the odd tutorial. So I thought I'd give you an update using Vegas Pro 13, the new one. How I render my gaming videos, the basics, the basics that I do, and because I see a lot of people, add in so much color and contrast and all kinds of effects that they just don't need. This is the basics of what I do. So if you're interested enough, then watch on. And if you're wondering who he is, that's my fighter in the UFC. I fight online as this man is called One Big Cock. Korea's finest. What's my fucking name? But that's another story. That's for other videos. Check him out anyway, because I've got some videos featuring him online on my channel already. But anyway, this video is about my render settings for Sony Vegas for my gaming videos. Now, in Sony Vegas here, we have Abe's Odyssey, the new and tasty, the new game on PlayStation 4. When I import that file, I right-click to get the properties. Always make sure that's checked. Disable resample before you do anything. Now, if I go into the folder where it is, right-click properties of the actual file. It's an MP4 file, okay? It's 3.37 gigabytes because that's because it's been recorded at 30 megabytes a second, so it's not going to be a small file, but the rendered file will be smaller, but probably even better quality when I finish with it. Details. The frame width is 1280 by 720. Now the reason why I've recorded it at 1280 by 720 is this: when you record with a live gamer portable, you can record at 60 frames a second, which is how the game runs on the PlayStation 4. It runs at 1080p 60 frames a second, but the live gamer portable here, it will not record 60 frames a second at 1080p. So what I have to do then, if I really want to, is the finished video I can always upscale it, or get Sony Vegas to upscale it to 1080p, and you gotta watch it, and really, really smooth 60 frames a second. Couldn't say it then. But anyway, I know that when you upload it, you will not see it on YouTube, but I don't know when, but pretty soon there's going to be a new feature on YouTube where they're allowing you to upload 60 frames a second videos. Yeah, and that's what you'll get when you watch them back on the YouTube channel once they're uploaded. So I'm looking forward to that. But anyway, this 1280 by 720, you can always upscale it to 1080p, at 60 frames a second. And like I say, if the 60 frames a second upload service was up and running, that's what I'd be doing. But anyway, that's what I do with all files. I check the data rate, the frame height and frame width of the file, and what kind of file it is. It's an MP4, okay. And then when you take it into Sony Vegas, you click on this button here. Alright, it's 1280 by 720. Yeah, keep all this, what you can see here, keep it all the same. Now I could render it out 1080p 30 frames a second just for YouTube, but because I like the way it looks when I've recorded it, I will do that 60 frame recording, even though I know if I upload it, it won't be 60 frames. That's just me. You save time. If you did this at 30 frames a second, you will save time in your rendering. You won't really notice it if you've got a quick PC and a really decent GPU. Okay, make sure view transforms off. That comes on by default. Now I don't know how to make that so it comes on by default in the off position. It really does me head in, because if you have it on this, watch the screen go dark. See, that looks daft. Let's go back into it. Off. Make sure that's off. Yeah. Best of course, interpolate fields. Now you ask most people, they'll say to you, interpolate the fields for gaming videos, HD gaming videos. All right, and that's basically what that's set for. All right. So you have your video file here. All I add to it, I just press this button. It's sharpen. use the light preset 0.250. You don't need anything else. If you're using a Live Gamer Portable especially, it's the most colourful, vibrant, you know, it produces the most vibrant colours that I've seen of any capture card. I mean, you might disagree with me there, but I don't feel the need to add anything to the brightness, contrast, or the extra colour. You don't need it. All I add is a bit of sharpening. You probably don't even need that, but that's just me. It's entirely optional. But you think at every frame it's rendered, and you've added an effect to your video. You've added an effect to each and every one of those frames, so it's going to take that bit longer on each frame. You know what I mean? So that's all I add to the video. And when I actually render it out, like I say, for argument's sake, I'll render it out as a 1280 by 720. Let's click on the render. And I'll show you my template that I use to if it's a 1280 by 720 video, this is the template I use when it decides to come on. Bloody hell, I could eat a stick of black food bleeding rock by the time this comes on. Hurry up! Well, Christmas came and went. Today! Thank you. It wasn't that hard, was it? My new MP4, right? You click on, if you highlight it, it's based on the internet 720p, but obviously better than that because I've made it so. Customize the template, right? It's 1280 by 720, 29.970 NTSC. Now it was like 59.940 before. I could change it to that, and it'll look exactly more or less like what you've just viewed on your TV to begin with. You know, 60 frames a second. If you really experience it, PC players especially, you'll know the difference. 30 frames looks crap in comparison. I mean, that's 60 frames a second. To me, it's like the difference between a film and a TV broadcast, you know, in terms of clean picture quality. Like a live broadcast, you know, that's 60 frames. I can't explain it like I really want to. You have to see it to know what I mean. Now the bit rate of the original file was 30 megabytes. Now I've changed it to a variable bit rate at 25 megabytes. Alright, if you would have done that with Pro 12, you would have found pixelation in the videos. There's a fault with the program, not the way you were rendering your videos. But this is Pro 13 and it doesn't do it. So when I render it out as that, it will render a really nice quality video, right? But like I say, this video, if I ever do render it out, I will render it out at 1080p at 60 frames a second, because that's basically how the game was running on the TV. Yeah. So I think I've covered anything there, everything. That's how I import. There's the door. That's how I import my files, and that's how I render them out. Okay. I'm Pemby66. Thanks for watching.